for this. And I would just love to welcome everyone here today. Just a couple housekeeping items before we start. I will ask you to just stay on mute as Chelsea takes us through today's presentation. If you have questions, please feel free to drop them in the chat, and then we'll make sure we address them at the end of the session. Thank you for joining us. Today, we're here to emphasize the critical importance of raising awareness about resources that may not be widely known, but can be transformative for those facing cancer. At Cancer Hope Network, we hear far too often, I wish I had known about CHN when I was diagnosed. I could have used this support. Imagine setting out on a journey through unfamiliar terrain, filled with uncertainties and challenging emotions. Now picture having a guidebook full of valuable insights, strategies, and support networks. Resources that can make this journey less daunting and more manageable. Raising awareness of these resources isn't just about acknowledging their existence. It's about empowering individuals with the tools to make informed decisions, offering comfort in times of uncertainty, and fostering a sense of community during isolation. No one should face the cancer journey alone, and by amplifying these resources, we extend a lifeline to those seeking guidance. The less we hear, I wish I had known, the better. So by highlighting these often overlooked resources, we connect those in need with the support they deserve. It's about lighting the path, not just for individuals facing cancer, but also for their loved ones. It's about creating a collective understanding that knowledge is power and community brings comfort. Peer support is a powerful, yet often underestimated resource in promoting well-being and resilience. Unlike traditional support mechanisms, peer support thrives on shared experiences and empathetic connections. It creates a unique environment where individuals find solace and understanding among peers who have faced similar challenges. Through mutual encouragement, validation, and guidance, peer support provides a nurturing space for authentic expression and solidarity. Cancer Hope Network is proud to support those facing cancer by connecting them with someone who truly understands. Our peer mentors have been there, and they are ready to help others navigate that uncertain path that cancer presents and walk that path with them. Hope may be our middle name, but network is our last. And it's crucial to leverage these incredible network of resources that exist and shine a light on those that can help make life easier for those facing cancer. We're grateful to have you with us today to learn about the critical role of nutrition during the cancer journey and how you can access free nutrition support. So whether you're here to understand how proper nutrition can support your own cancer journey or to add another tool to your peer mentor toolkit, we're happy to see you and introduce you to Savor Health and their intelligent nutrition assistant, Ina. So right now, I'm going to hand it over to Chelsea Snyder, an oncology dietitian with Savor Health. She's going to be sharing insights about their incredible platform and how Ina can provide essential support to those facing cancer. Chelsea, take it away.
All right. Hi, everyone. I'm Chelsea Schneider. Thank you for that introduction. I'm here today as one of Cancer Hope Network's partners to talk to you about nutrition during cancer treatment and beyond, and share more information on our partnership with Cancer Hope Network to offer access to Ina, our intelligent nutrition assistant, for free to any patient, caregiver, or healthcare provider, going through cancer treatment or interested in cancer prevention, etc. So I will talk about all of that in my upcoming slides, and we'll have time for some questions at the end. Just to give you a background on Savor Health, Savor Health is a digital health company that provides guidelines-based precision nutrition interventions to prevent, manage, and reverse complex chronic diseases, including cancer. Through our AI-based dietitian on demand named Ina, who is also supported by human RDs to ensure patient safety and clinical appropriateness. We help people who don't have access to an oncology dietitian get it, and even for those who do, it is an extension of your care team to have an extra layer of support and guidance as you're going through treatment or beyond. I myself am an oncology dietitian, and before I was working full-time with Savor Health, have many years of experience working in the outpatient oncology setting with patients and caregivers going through all different types of cancer treatment. So chemotherapy, immunotherapy, radiation, surgery, etc. So that's just to share a little background on Savor Health and myself as an oncology dietitian. First, I would like to start out by highlighting really the importance of nutrition. I think we all know that nutrition is important, but when and why? So I kind of broke it down into three different areas. So diagnosis, during treatment, and after treatment, and why nutrition is so important during each phase, of the cancer journey that people face. Nutrition plays a key role in each phase, and just like they say, food is medicine, and I'll talk more about that now. First, when you're diagnosed, it is estimated that over 50% of cancer patients are at risk for malnutrition, which is a really, really high number. Early screening for signs of malnutrition or poor nutrition is really important and should be part of all cancer centers' procedures. Early screening would help recognize signs of malnutrition before it's diagnosed. For example, like if someone has lost a significant amount of weight, or if they're starting cancer treatment and maybe they're experiencing pain and they have a significantly decreased appetite. All of these factors can put a patient at risk for malnutrition. This early detection of these symptoms and questions that we might ask can help lead to an early intervention by a credentialed dietitian who would work with a patient to create an individualized nutrition care plan. If it is available to the patient, I recommend that all patients advocate to meet with a dietitian upon starting treatment, even if they don't have any of these visible signs or symptoms, in hopes to get educated and potentially prevent, or again, to have this early detection and intervention. So that's before treatment. During treatment, it's also very important to focus on good nutrition. 90% of patients have addressable nutrition symptoms during their treatment. So nutrition symptoms might be something like diarrhea or constipation. That's a side effect of your disease, your cancer treatment, surgery, pain medication, nausea, which is very common, any oral changes like taste changes. These can all affect one's ability to eat well and optimize their nutrition during treatment, but they are very addressable by nutrition interventions. And that's what Ina, our intelligent nutrition assistant, does. And I'll show you more about that later. There's much research that shows that improved nutrition can help patients stay on treatment, tolerate their treatment better, improve quality of life, support, the body during treatment in so many different ways. Research shows that cancer patients who are receiving nutrition interventions have a significant reduction in the occurrence and the severity of their symptoms. So if our patients are receiving tips, interventions, and recipes to help manage their symptoms, it will help to improve their outcomes. They're faced with a lot of different changes during treatment. They may not like the foods that they liked before or be able to tolerate them. So a dietitian who is experienced in this can help them to navigate all these different changes. Then we think about kind of after treatment. So after treatment, hopefully our patients are, recuperating from their side effects, and focusing more on what can I do now to, help improve my outcomes, help my body recuperate and recover, and help to decrease, risk of recurrence. So there's a lot of research that shows that plant-based diets, exercise, limiting sugar-sweetened beverages, processed meats, and foods high in fat can help to reduce your risk of a cancer recurrence. So kind of shifting our mindset when we're healed and feeling better from treatment to what can I eat to help support my body in the survivorship phase after treatment. So following more of a plant-based diet, which I'll talk to you more about later, what makes up a plant-based diet, can be super helpful, and the research really supports that. So as you can see, nutrition plays an important role in all phases of the cancer journey. And I find it particularly motivating that nutrition is one thing you really can control during all of these phases when so much feels out of your control. You can really focus on nutrition, eating the right foods and choosing the right foods to help support your body during these different phases. What is an oncology dietitian? So I said, I myself am an oncology dietitian, and I suggest that if it's available, patients meet with one. An oncology dietitian is a registered dietitian who has at least 2 years working experience as an RD. An oncology dietitian has gained 2,000 working hours specifically with oncology patients. So that means they have a lot of experience and exposure to working specifically with cancer patients. And every 5 years, they pass a board exam to get a certification called a CSO, a Certified Specialist in Oncology. So once you become a registered dietitian, you can specialize in a number of different, clinical areas, oncology being one of them. Diabetes or sports medicine are some other examples. Specifically, as an oncology dietitian, you need to pass this board exam every 5 years, which is unique to all of these certifications and really highlights the importance of staying up to date on the ever-changing treatments and research and resources that there are. Currently, there's one RD for every 2,700 cancer patients. So there's a severe shortage of oncology dietitians. So our technology, INA, helps to bridge this access gap and help patients wherever they are, have support from evidence-based nutrition guidelines. I talked a little bit about this before, but just to highlight more about why nutrition is important during treatment, and kind of why patients face issues with nutrition. It's really multifactorial. So there's a lot of different factors. One is that cancer is a metabolic disease. So cancer cells are very fast dividing cells. They use a higher amount of energy than a normal cell, which increases patients' calorie and protein requirements. So typically patients need more calories and protein to support their body during treatment. Another factor that can contribute to poor nutrition is the treatment itself. So the side effects that patients face. After surgery, your body's healing and it might require even more calories, protein, certain vitamins. Some patients might be on immunotherapy or chemotherapy, which has, a whole subset of side effects. Side effects of feeling like you're in pain could be loss of appetite, constipation, the emotional component of treatment. So anxiety, stress, depression, or financial restraints can also affect your appetite, your ability to eat, maybe patients' willingness to participate in food preparation, food shopping, and the side effects that any complementary medications can result in. So if you're maybe on a pain medication, you might have, more constipation, which can reduce your appetite or your ability to eat. So it's a whole cycle of different factors that can really affect your nutrition during treatment. The importance of good nutrition, I highlighted this before, but just to say it again, good nutrition can help patients adhere to treatment. It can significantly improve survival, quality of life, and symptom burden. So good nutrition and optimizing your nutrition really, really helps patients during treatment. These are some common symptoms that patients might face during treatment and some tips that could be helpful. So if patients are facing nausea and vomiting, which is one of the most common side effects, registered dietitians can help them by providing tips on what to eat or what not to eat. Some foods that might be easier to tolerate are things like overnight oats or oatmeal, fruits that are, good for hydration, or even fruits that are a little tart can be better tolerated when you're nauseous. So green apples, grapes, and watermelon, tart flavored yogurts. Sometimes patients do really well with like lemon or lime flavored yogurts, which um, can help with the nausea. Sometimes simple foods like jello, bone broth, chicken soup, popsicles, and then avoiding things that could aggravate symptoms like fried or greasy foods, spicy foods, and orange juice that are acidic. Constipation, some tips that can help are eating more dried fruits, raisins, plums, apricots, whatever patients like. The extra fiber in dried fruits can really help to manage constipation. Drinking beverages like prune juice, which can have a laxative effect, adding seeds to the diet like chia seeds or flax seeds. Exercising can help with constipation, and I highlighted fluid intake because that's really important, especially when we're increasing our fiber intake. Matching it with increased fluid intake to help the fiber do its job. And then limiting things like rice or white or refined carbohydrates, things that can be binding like cheese or bananas. If patients experience gas or bloating, it can significantly affect their appetite and their ability to eat. So working with them to minimize the gas in their diet. Suggesting more peeled, soft cooked vegetables, things like eggs or kefir, which is a yogurt drink that is naturally high in probiotics, which can help decrease gas and bloating. And then going through the list of gassy foods or gassy vegetables that might aggravate their symptoms. So beans, Brussels sprouts, carbonated beverages, etc. Diarrhea is also very common due to the disease or as a side effect of treatment. So working with patients to expand upon the few foods that they might know they can eat. So they might hear, if they're on treatment, you can eat the BRAT diet, which is bananas, rice, applesauce, and toast, but working with them to expand that and really give them some balanced meal suggestions that would be appropriate for diarrhea. Microwave oatmeal, applesauce, rice soup, really soft cooked and peeled vegetables, protein-rich foods. So there's plenty of options, and working with the patients to help make sure they know what is safe to eat. And then again, avoiding foods that could aggravate symptoms like beans, raw nuts or seeds, raw vegetables, or salads. Other common side effects are fatigue, early satiety, and mouth sores or oral changes. Fatigue is very common for any patient, and really working with them to increase the energy in their diet can help support this symptom. So full fat yogurt with granola is a small but energy dense meal. Boxed creamy soups with crackers. So sometimes if patients are tired, they just need suggestions for already prepared foods that take minimal preparation and that are energy boosting but healthy. Overnight oats, which again can be made the night before and either eaten cold or warm in the morning. Exercise, smaller, more frequent meals, and focusing on protein. If they're facing fatigue, limiting alcohol and caffeine later in the day, which can affect your energy. Early satiety means that patients often experience a feeling of being very full, but only eating a small amount while they're on treatment. This is very common for many patients. So working with them to add high calorie foods to their diet. And again, have smaller, more frequent meals. They can include nut butters, egg salad, tuna salad, and chicken salad, avocado, and high calorie hot cereal. So maybe like a hot cereal made with whole milk. only having to eat a smaller portion, but getting a lot of nutrition out of it. Trying to limit any liquid-based meals that they're having, because those can feel very filling and overwhelming, or foods that are very, very high in fiber, again, to avoid that fullness. Mouth sores are a big challenge that patients face during treatment, and it can make it really hard to eat certain foods that you normally love. So really working with patients to provide recommendations on things that will not irritate their mouth sores so that they still can enjoy and eat food. So broth-based soups, avoiding any tomato-based soup or anything acidic or spicy, maybe having smoothies that are cold and could be cooling to the mouth, with seedless fruits and ice, and then sucking on ice pops. Avoiding anything citrusy, lemon, lime, orange, grapefruit, pineapple, or very dry foods like crackers or pretzels or bagels. Again, all of these symptoms are addressable with nutrition interventions to help patients manage their symptoms. We talked a little bit about the increased calorie and protein needs that patients face on treatment. So working with patients to help increase their protein if that's medically appropriate for them. And some examples are on the slide. So grains like orzo or quinoa contain protein. Those aren't the obvious ones, but are sometimes like easy to tolerate grains. If you're feeling nauseous and maybe you don't feel like having meat, you can have something like orzo or quinoa to get some protein in your diet. Some patients do very well with eggs, nuts or nut butters or seeds. Bone broth is a type of broth where the bones have been simmered down and it contains more protein than typical broth, traditional broth. Beans or hummus are ways to sneak extra protein in the diet. Greek yogurt has plenty of protein and is easy to incorporate into smoothies or oatmeal or eat on its own. Chicken, red meat, however, we want to limit our red meat intake for overall health. Legumes or legume pasta. So in the grocery store, you can find something like a chickpea pasta or a bean-based pasta, which has a lot of protein compared to a traditional white pasta. Protein powder, if that's appropriate for your diet, could be another way to enhance the protein by making maybe a shake or a smoothie. Consuming whole soy foods, so tofu, edamame, or soy milk, and fish. So all different ways, I'll go back, all different ways to get protein in the diet and again, help support your body during treatment. High calorie foods are also important to meet your elevated calorie needs. So avocado is a food that's very high in healthy fat. Butter is also a way to get extra calories in the diet. Granola can be a food that has a lot of calories for a small serving. It might be easy for a patient to eat as they're going through treatment. Shakes and smoothies can also be made with these high calorie ingredients if a patient really needs to add more calories to their diet. Full fat dairy, so milk, cheese, yogurt, ice cream, sour cream, ricotta are all calorie and energy dense foods. Oily fish or fish packed in oil, nuts, seeds, and nut butters, and oils. So something like olive oil, avocado oil. So you can see on the slide, there's a balance of some foods that contain healthy fats and some foods like butter or full fat dairy that contain more saturated fats, which are less healthy. Of course, the patient would need to be assessed on an individual basis, but it's really important for most cancer patients to keep up their weight during treatment. So if you see a patient is losing a lot of weight, the dietitian might recommend that they increase their calorie intake through a balance of foods with saturated fats and unsaturated healthier fats. Proper hydration is very important during treatment and can help with symptom management. So Registered dietitians work with patients to help ensure they are drinking plenty of fluids during treatment. And this is reinforced by, I think, everyone on the medical team. So chemotherapy medications could be renal toxic, so toxic to your kidneys, and adequate hydration can help flush medications through your system. Hydration can aid in GI motility and help both constipation and diarrhea. It helps with adequate blood volume and circulation and can also help with dry skin or dryness in the mouth, which is common during treatment. Most patients need around 2 liters, maybe up to 3 liters of fluids each day. But again, it could be assessed on an individual basis based on the patient's medical history, unless they're on a fluid restriction for some reason. So it's really important for patients to focus on proper hydration. Some tips for better hydration is carrying a water bottle with you wherever you go, keeping a glass of water on your nightstand and drinking it before your feet even hit the floor in the morning. So hydrating first thing in the morning. Instead of just having a sip of water with medications, having a half a glass, and then incorporating foods in your diet that help with hydration. So things like watermelon, jello, soups or bone broth, yogurt, smoothies, popsicles, and ice cream all contain a lot of fluids and can help patients stay hydrated. Now I want to pivot a little bit to, we talked about symptom management and nutrition interventions that can help. The American Institute for Cancer Research has 8 research-backed guidelines on mostly nutrition-focused factors that can help reduce cancer risk and risk for cancer recurrence. So I highlighted in green some of the things that are like, green means go, you should do this, and then gray are the things that you should limit in your diet. So being a healthy weight, so achieving a healthy body weight, exercising, being physically active, eating a plant-based diet that is rich in whole grains, vegetables, fruits, and plant-based proteins. So those are our 3, things that you should focus on in the survivorship phase. Research-backed suggestions that can help to prevent cancer recurrence or cancer risk. Limiting fast foods, foods that are high in sugar or refined grains. Limiting red and processed meats. So processed meat should be eliminated from the diet. Red meat should be eaten in small quantities, so less than 12, this should say 18 ounces of cooked red meat per week. So if you think about how much that actually is, it's about 3 small servings per week or less, or 2 bigger servings a week or less of red meat. Limiting sugar-sweetened beverages, so sodas, juices, or other sugary drinks, maybe like a coffee drink that has a lot of sugar in it, or a tea drink. Limiting alcohol intake, and then not using supplements for cancer prevention. So these are the AICR research-backed guidelines. The AICR also has a list of cancer-fighting foods that are encouraged before, during, and beyond treatment. So you could see here all of the beautiful colors on the slide, and it really highlights the importance of eating the rainbow and eating a variety of different colors. I'll talk about some of these and just highlight the research as to why they are beneficial, but you could see there's a whole variety of different cancer-fighting foods. And it continues on to the slide where there's also soy and spinach and strawberries and tomatoes and tea and whole grains, etc. So I just wanted to delve into a few of these to share more of the research. So this picture here is flax. Oh, it's not flax seeds, that's coffee beans. That's why I wanted to highlight it. I love to highlight why coffee is a cancer-fighting food. I think I have flax seeds on my next slide. I got confused with the images. Coffee contains a lot of protective antioxidants, and research shows that it can help reduce endometrial, liver, endometrial and liver cancer. Decaf coffee has less of the beneficial compounds called phenolic acids. And it's definitely, research supports this as a cancer fighting food. What I wanted to say was, when coffee becomes a sugar sweetened beverage with a lot of added sugar or a lot of added, creamers or sweeteners or, heavy milks, that's when it can become a less healthy beverage overall. So trying to have like an unsweetened coffee beverage is something that's, definitely recommended as a cancer fighting food. Below this is tea. Tea has been shown to have improved patients' microbiomes. So all the bacteria that lives in your stomach, it can help them to flourish. And it also has been shown to reduce bladder cancer. Again, similar to coffee, we want to limit the sugar, the sweeteners, the heavy creamers that we add to milk or tea, and kind of keep it as an unsweetened, healthy beverage. This next picture is flax seeds, which I got confused with my coffee beans. So flax seeds contain beneficial lignans, which are molecules that can help to, that have antioxidant compounds and can help to reduce cholesterol and fat in the body. They contain beneficial phytoestrogens, and they have been shown to decrease colon cancer and then also to decrease your risk for overweight and obesity, which in the long run can help to decrease cancer risks. So a lot of benefits to eating flax seeds. And the next picture is of whole soy foods. So I know there's a lot of chatter about the controversial background of eating soy during cancer treatment. However, the research does show that eating the whole soy foods, so in their natural form, like tofu or edamame, soy milk, it is beneficial. So they contain isoflavones, phytoestrogens that can help decrease the recurrence of breast cancer, colorectal cancer, obesity, and overweight. And there is some, but not super strong evidence that it can decrease the risk for lung cancer and reduce breast cancer mortality. Next, and the final two foods that I'll highlight are asparagus and cherries. And I chose these because they're in season over the summer. So you will probably be able to hopefully find good asparagus and cherries soon. Asparagus is a non-starchy vegetable that can decrease the risk for many different types of cancer due to its antioxidants and fiber content. It can decrease the risk of estrogen receptor positive breast cancer and bladder cancer. And cherries, any food that has like a really deep color like cherries, blackberries, has a very strong antioxidant concentration naturally and is naturally a cancer fighting food. Cherries also contain melatonin, which is very beneficial, which can help to decrease the risk for colorectal cancer, lung cancer, and bladder cancer. So that was just, to highlight some of the many different cancer fighting foods that you saw on those previous screens. Okay, now I'd love to talk and introduce you to Ina, our intelligent nutrition assistant. Ina is our expert platform that is designed to replicate the logic and knowledge of oncology credentialed dietitians and other medical experts. Ina provides high quality, evidence-based guidelines, tips, interventions, and recipes, just like patients would receive in the cancer center. Ina works by using intake forms, which mimic the logic and thought process of oncology dietitians, and expert rules. Ina has a database of expertly curated and cited interventions, and our AI technology uses all of these variables from the unique patient profiles to identify which interventions and recipes are appropriate for our patients. So you can see these different elements that INA contains. The intake, kind of analyzing the patient profile, analyzing the patient's different variables, what their cancer diagnosis is, what their food preferences are, and then empowering them with personalized support, recipes, menu plans, foods to eat and avoid, and expert tips. Again, all provided by our expert platform and overseen by our team of oncology credentialed dietitians. This is our registration page, which can be found in the Cancer Hope Network resources, and Samantha can provide more information on that. But all patients have to do is put in their phone number, accept the terms of use, click Let's Get Started, and then they can immediately text with Ina, our dietitian, for nutrition support during and after their cancer treatment. This QR code will also bring you to the Cancer Hope Network link. And here's the link. Oh, there's a slate. I have to modify that link a tiny bit. And then the help email for any questions that come up.
Thank you so much, Chelsea. And I just dropped the link into the chat too for anyone, and I'll include it in all the follow-up material. So thank you so much, Chelsea, for joining us. We're so excited with this partnership for Savor Health and to get INA out into our communities and make sure our mentors know about it, and then those who are in need of support, that they know how to access it.
Wonderful.